Alright guys, so we're back from the junkyard with our awesome new cluster for the 97. Hold on. As you can see, this cluster has the tachometer and the smaller gas gauge and smaller temperature gauge, but it's the same 6-digit odometer set up at 110 mile-an-hour speedometer, just with the addition of a tach. So Tim is in here beginning to remove this black plastic cover, which up here in the bottom you can see one of the holes right here. It has two Phillips head screws and they're kind of a pain in the butt to get to, but he's doing it. See, he's got one of them out. Let me give him a little bit of space and then get right back in his way as he takes off. And it's starting to rain. Of course it would, right? Alright, he's got those two out. Is your tilt wheel all the way down?
Yeah.
Alright. Here we go. Now pull from the bottom like we did, because as you see here and here, it has those square push connectors that latch it into place. Now, it's that you've got a Phillips head bolt in the top. You have one right there, one right here, and then at the bottom of the cluster you have a Phillips head bolt down in there, and one on the opposite side as well. So 4 Phillips head bolts in total. They're pretty easy to get out. Let me see if I've got a magnetic pole stick thing. You know what I'm talking about. I thought it was in my travel box. Maybe it's inside my big box of tools. Did you get the bolts out? Yeah. You did? Okay. Now you gotta pull it out ever so carefully. Alright, now. Here, there you go. There's one. Push pin right here on the corner. He's already pulled it out. And as you see, they got the push button on the top, and there should be 3 of them. Hold on. Now he's over here trying to remove one of the other 3 existing pins. You want me to go do it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Hold the camera delicately. Or you hold the camera. Just don't point it up here. Just keep it. There's one out. And there's the other one out. Alright, camera please. Now we can go back here to the trunk and you'll see what I'm talking about. As this plane cluster just has a massive fuel gauge, the speedometer, and the temperature gauge. Well, the new one looks a little bit better, more modern. But the shape is the same, the bolts are the same. And now we're going to compare on the underside to make sure that the plugs are the same. Now the location will be different, so don't fret about that. The location will be in different places, but as long as the plugs are the same. So we've got 2 with the little notches here, one line in the middle, one offset. 2 lines here, one in the middle, one offset. Now I got a shorter one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 prong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 prongs. Alright, with a notch there. Same on this one. And then of course you get the small one to control illumination. And everything looks the same. Alright, so hopefully, we don't know if any of these bulbs are actually burnt out or not. We're just going to have to plug it in and see. So you want to carry that in there, and I'll meet you on this side and we'll start plugging everything in. I'm going to pick up all these screws before I drop them in the floor, and I'll put them in the floor after I grab these two. You set them right there in the open, I know where they are. Alright. Hold on. Look here. Okay. Figure out how you want to put it in there. Alright. Now you've got this long white one. Let's do it last so that we can get our hand in here. Or you want to do it, or you want to hold it? And be careful pushing on those things, because if they bend, it won't work. That's it. In our case, the blue one goes in the middle. Come my way. A lot more. You want me to do it?
I think I got it in there. I'm not sure.
It only goes in one way. I'll get the cluster, you let go. And then the white one goes in this long corner. And that's that. And now we'll just have to plug that one in on that side. And this is the smallest one of them all. Now that I stab my finger and that everything is plugged in, I can set this back in here like that. We'll hold this. We've got illumination showing that the door is open. Don't worry about bolting it in yet. I just want you to turn the switch on. So we'll see what kind of instrumentation. Alright. Temperature gauge moved upwards. Battery lights are on. Oil lights are on. Check engine light is there. Fuel gauge has not adapted yet. Okay, contact. Look at that. Plug and play. You've now got a functioning. Turn on. Oh, there they go. I see two of them lit up. Fuel gauge is lit up. I can see the lights for the odometer and the tach, so we'll have to wait till nighttime to see how good they work. Give it a little rev. Let's see that tachometer move. Oh, that is so nice. Now, just like a Honda, everything is plug and play. That's why this cluster went right into this car and functioned. All of the Geos and Toyota Corollas, even if not applicable with a tachometer from the factory, still have the wiring harness in there for a tachometer. It's just whether or not the cluster can read it. So in this case, all we had to do was find a cluster that had an operational tachometer, such as this one, and install it in the car. Now the mileage will be different. This one gives the car about 3,000 miles more than it actually had. Now if I were trying to resell this car, I'd want to make that odometer accurate so we don't have to go through odometer fraud and stuff like that. But because this car is an older car and Tim plans on keeping it till forever ends, it doesn't really matter. We'll know the difference in the mileage and we'll take care of it accordingly. And there goes the gas gauge. It went down a little bit to accommodate.
I'm going to turn it off.
Why?
Because I got to pull this down.
Okay, you shut it off then. Very nice. Awesome. And there's how you put the tachometer in the car. And there are methods of adding a tachometer, such as buying one of the aftermarket ones and bolting it to the pillars, but I've always thought that, you know, if you can get it with one factory, it'd probably look a lot cleaner than trying to add one. As you see, it was just boring, and it's honestly just like the one in my car in the 94. See, just plain. And I'm working on getting one for this one, so eventually we'll have one for both of them. But typically these clusters with the tachometers and the Geos, for this model Geo anyway, they run on eBay and different online sites from anywhere between $50 to $100. The ones for the 94 Corolla over there can be even more expensive, anywhere from $60 to $150. Believe it or not, my buddies at the local junkyard hooked us up very good with this cluster. We brought it home for $15. Tim, can you beat $15?
Nope.
No, you can't. You got a tachometer now?
Yep.
You happy? You gonna stare at it when you go down the road?
Probably.
Yeah. I like one of the main things, other than having a tach, is how it makes the other instrument gauges smaller, so that they're not so big and feel like they're taking up off the dash. And it really makes it feel not necessarily more sporty, but just more modern. Well, I guess that's all I really needed to show you. This is just Tim reinstalling everything. That's the opposite of how it went in. Bolts that you took out first, put them in last, so it can't get any more simple than that. You've got 2 bolts to hold the bezel in and 4 that actually hold the cluster itself in. The rest of that crap's just plug and play. Now we will probably in the future be going back and removing this cluster again to replace all the illumination bulbs with either LEDs or like a more crystal color, like a white, other than this vintage yellow that this car has, to just light it up better so you can see more. But thanks guys for watching. We've now completed our mission for today, junkyard bound, and we got our new cluster, so happy, happy, happy. Thanks for watching guys. Stay awesome, comment, all that good stuff, and we'll have some more stuff up of the Geo as soon as we can, as soon as we get more stuff in. And stay awesome.